Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aries in the month of December. Whoa, 2018. Hi, Aries. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. December 2018, guys. We are here. We are here. Time to wrap things up, right? So, quickly off the top, Merry Christmas to you guys if you're celebrating. Happy Hanukkah if you guys are celebrating that. Happy Kwanzaa if you're celebrating that. And Happy Holidays if you don't care about any of it, or you're non-discriminating, or you're not discriminating? You know what I mean. If you don't care about any of it, or you apply to one of those boxes, but you don't care what I say to you, Happy Holidays, okay? Hope the holiday season later this month is going to be a fantastic one for you if you're doing anything, if you're working, if you're traveling, please be safe. But again, I just hope things are going well in your life, and I hope that time with family is a good time, okay? Shuffled off camera, so that's your main spread there. What we're going to shuffle now is for your overall energy and your outcome overall energy. Once those are out and all cards are lying face up, that's when the reading begins. The time for that will be found in the description box below. Also down there is information on getting a holiday reading with me. I guess you could call it that if you book it during that time, but that's not what it is. It's just a regular reading with me. The steps are below if you want to do that, okay? Let's go ahead and shuffle for that outcome and the overall energy. Outcome, Aries, December 2018. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Nice. Whoa. Bottom of the deck is the overall. And if you're wondering, this is called the Housewives Tarot deck, I believe. Housewives Tarot deck. I think that's the actual title. It's easy to find. It's kind of cute. It's kind of kitschy. Just what I felt drawn to use this month. Cute and kitschy. Let's go ahead and flip your remaining cards to see what we're working with. I love that card. It's so funny. Alright. Where's Aries in December 2018? Please show me Aries in December 2018. Please show me. Come on. Aries, December 2018. Please show me. Okay. Wow. That took a minute. Okay. Coming into December 2018, Aries, excuse me, you come in as the, excuse me, the Nine of Wands reverse. I'll show you this card upright since I don't use it very often. Okay. But like I said, it's in reverse. So, the Nine of Wands in this particular deck shows a female, well, it doesn't matter who, it shows a person climbing a ladder away from, you know, these mops, these brooms, these dusters, whatever. Basically escaping from them or trying to distance themselves from it. And in the reverse, I get the feeling, Aries, that you're downplaying your issues, downplaying what needs to be taken care of, what needs to be addressed, the things, your responsibilities, your obligations, your duties. Yeah, this feeling is like work has to be done, things need to be addressed, things need to be clarified, and you're just kind of like, thank you. In this position, this woman like knows exactly what she's getting away from. She knows exactly what her issues are, or, you know, she knows what that broom's about. She knows what that mop refers to. She knows what those dusters and scrub brushes are dealing with. In this position, being that it's reverse, excuse me, I have got to do something with this throat of mine. Anyway, in this position, your perspective is that you don't even know what you're avoiding or what you're escaping, what you're running from, what you're ignoring. You're not even aware of what needs to be addressed, excuse me, what needs to be handled, what needs to be the focus of whatever situation or whatever circumstance you're dealing with. It's sort of like not even a blind eye. It's really perhaps like ignorance. It's really perhaps not being informed, not being aware. I think I mentioned the word clarity, so things aren't clear with you. Misguided. Okay, thank you. So some of you might be working on something or you're putting effort towards something, but it's the wrong thing. Thank you. It's like close but no cigar, sort of is the energy. So you could have issues. This is a Wands card, but I'm just giving this as an example. Some of you might be have financial issues, and so you're overspending. And instead of looking at how you're spending money, you're looking at ways on how to save more money. Like, does that make sense? So instead of like stopping certain spending habits, you're just like, okay, thank you. Instead of cutting the correct spending, let's say you go to the movies 3 times a month, ridiculous. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean ridiculous like you shouldn't. I meant ridiculous like the prices for movie tickets. Oh, ridiculous. That's what I meant. So no judgment on you going to the movies for 3 times a month. But let's say you do that. You go to the movies 3 times a month. And you go with someone else, your partner, your friends, whoever. That's a lot of money. And you always get popcorn and candy and a soda and all that kind of stuff. And you're racking up your little rewards points through AMC or Regal or whatever movie theater you go to. And instead of cutting that behavior down, what is going wrong with my voice? I'm like going through puberty over again, but this time as a teenage boy. Anyway, instead of not going to the movies 3 times a month, you're instead thinking, okay, instead of buying kale and getting my probiotic supplements and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, no, you should cut back on the movies and not the healthy eating. Like, you're not restricting yourself. You're changing behavior, or you're evaluating a certain aspect, but it's not necessarily the most correct or the most beneficial one. And for potentially obvious reasons. If you get a lot of joy out of going to the movies, this is, again, just an example. If you get a lot of joy out of going to the movies 3 times a month, and less enjoyment out of your kale salad every day at lunch, it makes sense. You're going to continue to go to the movies because you just are made happier by doing that. It's probably not as cost effective. I feel like buying kale like once a week is way cheaper than going to the movies 3 times a month. But that's your choice. You can do that. But this card, in that being your starting position, is really trying to highlight that your efforts are a little misdirected. They might be better served elsewhere if you focused your efforts somewhere else. Whether that's to do more of something or to do less of something. To spend more or to spend less. Whatever you are needing to augment, needing to edit, needing to change, needing to address, needing to clarify. A little more to the left, a little more to the right is kind of what this is giving me a feeling of. It's like you're very close, but it's not necessarily hitting your target. It's not going to get you the result that you want. So reroute that, okay? You've got the triplet in the middle, which is interesting. That happens sometimes. You've been with me since April, since I started with you guys. If you've been here this whole time, you should be slightly familiar with the triplet. When it comes out, it's usually a collective energy, and it usually informs something about the other 4 cards. But yours is in the middle, and for some reason it's making me talk about this being in the middle. I don't think we're actually going to go here yet. I don't think. Are we? Ooh, that would be different if we are. They're going to tell me in a second. Hold on. Anyway, so the 3 being in the middle, they want me to think about that. Something about being in the middle. Something is in between 2 sides of something. Something is between 2 people. Something is between 2 options. There's this idea of being in between or in the middle. They just want me to talk about in the middle, in the middle, in the middle, in between, in between, in between. You can think of that as an interjection. You can think of that as an interruption or a disruption. You can think of that in many ways, but there's this in the middle. It's like they just want me to talk about in the middle. And I'm like, okay, fine, in the middle. Are we going to the triplet right now? No. See? I'm like, oh God. I love that I'm becoming better in tune with my guides, in tune with my instincts, in tune with my connection, but at the same time, I'm just like, you guys are so silly sometimes. Like, it makes sense to them a lot more than it makes sense to me, I think. Anyway, so the middle. There's something for someone out there about things being in the middle, in between, something like that, okay? Now, your next position here in your 4 cards, where are we going? I really should have got some tea. Wow, really? All the way over here? Is that right? Yes. Okay. So, your next position is the 8 of Pentacles. So, yeah. 8 of Pentacles is about industry. It's about work. Traditionally, I should say. It's about industry. It's about work. It's about being really hard at work on something. Apprenticeship. Studying hard, working hard, burning the midnight oil, all that good stuff. Different in this deck, of course. As you can see, it's a more artistic, creative depiction of the card. Like, no offense to this lady, and no offense to anybody who might do work similar to this lady, but this doesn't look like hard work. Like, intricate work, detailed work, maybe work that requires the eye and the skill of a professional or an artist of a type, but not hard, like, labor. Like, she's not breaking a sweat. I assume she's got a cocktail, in her other hand. She's got, like, a nice little glass of Chardonnay or something that she's sipping on, right? So there's this element of work. There is this element of creating something, of putting in effort to make something new, right? So each of those plates, she's designed them, or she's colored them, painted them with different paints. So there is this idea, more in this deck particularly, more so than any other of my decks and any others that I've seen. This 8 of Pentacles has a flair of creativity behind it. So maybe, maybe this misdirection up here in terms of your work, you might have a slight misdirection with certain creative ideas or creative endeavors that you're undertaking, that you're introducing, that maybe it sounds good on paper, but in reality, it's not the best idea, or it's not the easiest goal or change or to sort of implement in the office or implement in your business. So some of you might be creative directors, and I don't really know what that is. In title, I would assume it means you direct creatively. You're encouraged to think outside of the box. You're encouraged to, make connections with certain customer bases. You're encouraged to create connections and business relationships with certain vendors. You probably wear a lot of different hats in roles like that, or in positions like that. And I don't get the sense that whatever you're doing, if this is work related, is necessarily a big misstep. I just feel like it's, like I said, a little misguided. And this misguided, or this aspect, or this idea of being misguided, to me is being shown as, it's a good idea, just the wrong target. It's a good method, just the wrong time to implement it, or you're asking, perhaps some of you are asking or involving the wrong people. So you might have this great idea to start a business with a certain other company, or, you know, have a certain partnership with a certain company. What is it, my eye? And that's great to have new partnerships, to have new sponsorships or new business partners, like, but okay, thank you. They finally give me like a specific example that I could articulate a little bit better. So maybe you're a small business, a local business or something, and there's a certain charity event or certain like local, another business or charity that is looking for sponsorship, and you think it would be cool if our two organizations linked together. So you do all your work, you're out there making phone calls, sending emails, making acquaintances, going and doing visits, inviting people to visit your business, and da 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 da. And that's great. You know, you're sitting and you're, you know, having nice little lunches with bagels and all that kind of stuff. And that's good, but something about working with this particular business, this particular organization, this particular charity isn't necessarily super aligned with your vision or the vision of your company or the vision of your managers and your executive level people. So it's close but no cigar. So it might be a trial, not a trial run, but this might be like you're like cutting your teeth on this. Like, this woman in this card is like really happy about painting these pentacle shapes and these pentacle stars on these plates. She's like over the moon about this. And that's nice, Barbara. That's nice, Betty Jean, or whoever you are, or whatever this woman's name might be. That's real nice, but is it going to go far? Is it going to really have long-term sustainable results or sustainable outcomes? Or if this is pentacles, it could be money. Is this financially sound? The work and the creativity behind it feels beneficial, but it also feels kind of like juvenile in a way. It's very strange, Aries, if I'm honest. It's very strange. I feel that you feel good about doing it, and I feel that might be short-sighted. Ooh, is that it? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So in the short term, Aries, whatever your misguided efforts are going towards, short term feels good, sounds good, looks good, smells good, whatever. It seems above board. It seems as if it's going to have some type of positive result, progressive result, whatever. In the long run, I don't know. I don't know about that. Again, they're having me talk about this whole thing. And it's creative, again, because this woman, she's putting these pentacles on these plates, and they're all different colors, and she's very happy. She's sipping the Chardonnay, and she's happy. So creatively, you might feel really good. You might feel like your bright ideas, your insight, your clever presentations, whatever, are really selling the next big move. We're going to nail this contract. We're going to get this partnership, and it's going to be great. So your ideas might be a little rose tinted in a way, giving you not false hope, but giving you this idea or this feeling that it's gonna work, because I don't know, it's just in the long run, it's just I'm feeling it doesn't have lasting power. Thank you. It doesn't have lasting power. It doesn't have lasting power. Staying power. That's how you say it. Staying power. It doesn't have staying power. Great. This woman, let's talk about something that maybe we all can relate to. This woman, like, would start an Etsy shop based on these plates. Cute novelties. Thank you. This woman would want to start, like, a huge, like, her idea is, I'm going to start this corporation. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start this huge business based off of novelty plates. I'm not a business major. You guys, if you guys have been with me for a while, you know I didn't go to school for business, but I know that's not a good business idea. I'm going to start a corporation off of novelty plates. I'm going to start a huge business off of novelty gifts. How? That's, no. If you want to do that, make a novelty business, that's cool. There's like a nice little niche market you could work with. Lots of different people will flock to that, and you will have a sound business. But if you're thinking you're going to be raking in the dough because you're selling handmade plates at $15 a pop, no, you're not. You're not. If the time period was like this card depicts in the 40s or the 50s, maybe, but not in 2018 going into 2019. No, you're not. No, ma'am. It's not going to work. So, not to rain on your parade too heavily here, Aries, but I feel that what you want works to a certain extent. If your goal was augmented, or what you were doing was augmented, things would be aligned. So there's this misalignment with what you want and then what you're doing. I want to be a multi-million-dollar business, but I'm working with handmade plates. That's not going to fly. Excuse me, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry to break the news to you. I'm not a business insider, but what I do know is I don't think multimillionaires come from this, solely this. If you want to do that, you got to expand. Okay, we do plates, we do mugs, we also do embroidery on silverware, and we also sell the little elf on the shelf guy. Like, okay, now you're talking a little bit more. If you're just doing these plates, no, it's not gonna work. Finally, we got there. I was just like, what are you guys talking about? I got it now. What you're focusing on, what you're kind of putting all your eggs in that basket, take some of those eggs out of that basket. Diversify your eggs, okay? I'm using a lot of business language, so for some of you, this is going to be about your business, about work, about your finances. But for others, this could be in different aspects of your life. Again, this is like avoiding duties. This is avoiding your responsibilities, avoiding issues that need to be addressed. This could be, like, it could be a little bit like of a relationship. If you're avoiding issues in your relationship, if you're avoiding, you're getting creative and going, let's go and let's do paint classes together, honey. That is going to put the spark back in our marriage. And it's like, no, what you really need to do is get down and dirty with your husband, or get down and dirty with your wife, whoever, I don't care. But your creative idea is, let's just go to paint classes. Let's do the paint and wine thing together. It's going to be cute. And it's like, yeah, it's cute, but it doesn't fix your sexless marriage by going and painting a few things together, painting some plates together. Going back to just it being your spending. If you're losing $100 a month because you go to the movies 3 times in the month, that's not going to save you money as much if you stop eating certain healthy foods. You know what I mean? If you grocery shop once or twice a month for like your healthy Whole Foods type items, and going to Whole Foods is always like, God, it's so much money. Or whatever stores that are comparable to that, wherever you are. That versus going to the movies 3 times a week or 3 times a month. It's just like, if your goal is to ultimately stay healthy and save money, why would you negate staying healthy and continue to spend money on crap you don't need? Like, again, it makes sense to you because you're happier going to the movies than you are going to Whole Foods on a Saturday morning. God save you. God bless you, because that's a trip. But you see what I mean? So in the short term, you're happier spending money at the movies and happier not having to eat a kale salad 5 days a week. Okay, cool. Short term, you feel good. But for your long-term goal, which is to save more money, which is to be more financially sound with your money, it's not happening. If you want to save your marriage that's on the brink, and you say, let's go to this together, let's continue to go to the movies together, and let's not have sex, in the long term, I don't know that that's going to work either, okay? And okay, great. I don't really look at the board. Like, I know that there was a triple here. I don't know what's in the triple, and I know that there are 4 cards here. I don't know what they are until I really, really look at them. Because when I'm talking, I'm looking, you can't see, but I'm looking out of a window. It's not a great view that I see out there, but I look outside and I can see the branches move. Maybe there will be a squirrel that scurries along. But anyway, I don't look at the board. I just now looked at the board. And I got huge clarification by looking at the card right above that 8 of Pentacles, the 2 of Swords. Lord, have mercy. As my grandma would say. Not in that way, but she would say it. What was I just talking about? Not having that long-term vision, not having, like, having just short-term vision, not seeing the long-term effects or the long-term outcome. 2 of Swords. Blindfolded. Blindfolded. They are drawing me straight to that first, as this is the first aspect to talk about in this card. Blindfolded. Aries, you gotta take that blindfold off, man. You get, or girl, or whoever you are. You gotta take that off. You don't have to. I always say you got to, you have to. You don't have to do anything in this world you don't want to do. I'm just some humble tarot reader in some place that you may have visited before, but I don't know. Anyway, you might be encouraged to take that blindfold off. Because if this woman is set to carve this turkey, she's not going to get very far. Unless she's like some, America's Got Talent act. She's not going to get very far. And she's not going to do a good job of carving up that turkey if she's going to stay blindfolded. And she's also not going to do a good job if she doesn't position that knife and that fork down on that bird. You can't carve a turkey, Mary, if your arms are crossed in front of you like that. You gotta take off the blindfold, you gotta place the fork into the bird, and you gotta slice with the knife, okay? Like step 1, 2, and 3, okay? But all of that's not happening. All of that is not happening. If you want to carve the bird, whatever that means to you, carve the bird, save money, carve the bird, reconnect with your partner, carve the bird, get a certain partnership established at your job, and make a name for yourself as a creative director, make a name for yourself as whatever you're doing there. You gotta take off the blindfold. You gotta place your utensils correctly, and then you can start to slice, okay? But you're resistant. You're blind to it. You might not even know. I might be talking a whole bunch of mess, and you're just like, what the hell are you talking about, Jay? What are you talking about? That makes no sense. You might not even be aware of how and in what degree or to what extent you're blindfolded, that you're missing the point, or you've lost the plot. Okay? But there's this disconnect between what I feel is your happy optimism here in the 8 of Pentacles. Like I said, this 8 of Pentacles is different than the traditional interpretation. It's still about hard work. It's still about being industrious, but I feel that it's got this creative flair. It's got a lighter energy. The 8 of Pentacles often, to me, is a firm, steady energy. Is that the issue? You're kind of being lighthearted when you actually need to be a little bit more serious, a little bit more firm, a little bit more stern and stoic with your energy? Oh, is that it? Okay. Someone might be thinking or feeling that you're not taking things seriously. That would make sense. Going back to the 9 of Wands, we're getting it. Where the 9 of Wands requires dutifulness. It requires you to be, to address things head on, and to grab it and being like, yeah, we're going to do it. And not necessarily in that, yeah, we're going to do it, like victorious thing. It could be, okay, we're going to do it. Like, you got to hunker down. You got to prepare yourself. You got to steel your energy. You gotta get strong with it. Okay, so maybe that's it. Someone else or the situation at hand calls for a little bit more of a serious approach, a more serious tone, and your tone is a little fun and fancy free. It's a little not careless, it's a little carefree. Thank you, carefree. Right? Okay. And that is a little misinformed. That's a little misguided. You should take it a little bit more seriously. You should approach it with a little bit more of a serious, long view or future forward approach. Okay. Yeah. It's interesting. A lot of you is here. I'm not really seeing a lot of different people. So for some reason, I have to tell you that. A lot of this is you. Like, you're everywhere. You've been here, here, and here. You're in all of those cards. And what do I mean? Not that you're there as in, like, you're the main character here in your own story, which is not always the case in tarot reading. Sometimes other people come in and you're kind of like the bystander and you're just like watching other people's drama and that's your reading. No, this reading is all about you. You are the main character here. This is all you. You're the protagonist, okay? And what is not what's going on, but like, I suppose one of the guiding points, yes, thank you. One of the guiding points here is this misconnection, this disconnection, this close but no cigar, is that I think I said it here with the Nine of Wands, right? You know things are awry, things are askew, there could be something you're doing wrong, or you could be doing more of, or you could do differently, and you try, but your effort is misguided. It's like, no, you're so close. It's like playing, what's that, oh my God, I can't think of it. Hide and go seek, right? What's that other one? Hide and go, I haven't been a child in a long time, and I don't hang around with kids, and kids don't play these games anymore, do they? Hide and go seek is when, like, someone is hidden, they hide themselves, and you go find them. What's the other one where, like, you hide an object? This is what I used to play as a kid. It's like you hide an object, like a ball or something like that, or like a toy, and someone else hides it, and you try and find it, and they tell you where to, like, as you move around, they say hot and cold. You're getting warmer, hotter, hotter, and then you're like colder, ice, freezing, things like that when you're like super far away from it. I don't know what the name of that game is. I haven't been a kid in a long time, so it's been a while since I played that game. But that's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like you're cold. If the sweet spot is hot on fire and you got it, you're in the cold region. You're quite chilly, Aries. Okay? You're quite icy right now. You're not freezing. You're not all the way in iceberg territory. But, you're in a snow-capped mountain. Okay? What could help you, what you might want to pay attention to, is this energy of the High Priestess card. Now, of course, this High Priestess is way different in its visual presentation and what I'm feeling right now than the traditional. The traditional shows this mystic woman. She's on a throne. She's got two columns, and she's got some black. She's got a black column and a white column, and she's got this book and all this crazy stuff. It's very mystic. This obviously is teetering on copyright infringement, but this is looking like Mrs. Buttersworth, and she's about to serve you up some delicious pancakes, right? And you're going to pour her contents on top of those pancakes and devour them. Delicious. But what they want me to show you is secret syrup, right? That's what's on her little midsection there, her little skirt or apron area, I guess. Secret syrup. Let me see what else it says. The mysteries of the universe are sweeter than you know. That's cool. So, the secret syrup. And the syrup would be the contents of this not Mrs. Buttersworth. Okay. It is still talking, because the High Priestess does talk about instincts and your intuition. And that's at play here, but I think it's a little less esoteric right now for you. It's really about noting the details. Okay? Thank you. Note the details. When you're giving your presentation, if this is work, when you're giving your presentation and you're selling people on this idea that you have, that you think is amazing for the business, it's going to grow your business, it's going to give you this amazing partnership. Read the room, Aries. Read the room. Thank you. Don't just look down at your tablet or your laptop. Don't look exclusively at the projection screen. Look at the people in the room. Are they on their phones? Are they paying attention? Are they giving you like the half smile, half grimace look? Like, really read the room. If you suggest to your partner, let's go do that paint by number thing and let's go that'll help our marriage. Look at your partner while you're at that event. Are they like smiling that smile that says they're deeply satisfied, or are they smiling that smile that says, okay, this is fine for now, but when we get home, if we're not busting it out, I'm gonna have an issue. Like, you really have to look at the details of things. And follow your instincts is also there, okay? On the inside of you, deep, deep, deep down, do you really think this business that you want to start, this multi-million-dollar empire, or whatever you're trying to start, it doesn't have to be obviously multi-million dollars, but you get what I'm saying. Does your goal, as lofty as it might be, is that really achievable with this type of effort? Not the amount, but the type of effort. The type of effort you're choosing, the type of action you're taking. Can you really get there? Be honest with yourself. Be honest. If you can't be honest, if you need clarity, if you need some type of insight, ask someone else. Now, I did say that you're the main character here, and I still feel that, but some of you might second guess. Thank you. You might be second guessing your instincts. You might be second guessing your intuition. You might be thinking, and some of you, okay, how I was saying, read the room. Some of you might have people around you who are misleading you. Okay. So the person who says, oh my God, Aries, that's a great idea. We should totally do that at work. Not that they're intentionally trying to sabotage you or intentionally trying to mislead you, but they could just be like trying to be nice to you. Like, they don't want to shoot your ideas down. They don't want to reject you. And so you're like, oh, well, Stacy said, or Adam said, this was a good idea. Cool, I'm going to run with it. And that could be a slight misdirection. So your instinct may have said, oh man, maybe this isn't such a good idea. Let me go ask Adam about it. And Adam's like, oh man, that's so great, Aries. I think that's cool. We should totally do that. Or you're saying all the things and Adam's just like sitting there nodding his head, smiling like, oh, okay, yeah, got you. Oh, right. Giving you all this affirmation. And he didn't say no, but he didn't, that's kind of like your takeaway. Well, he didn't say it was a bad idea, so I guess it's a good idea, so I'm going to run with it. And you therefore ignore your instincts. You ignore your intuition. So for those who have reached out or you're thinking of reaching out, I don't know. This is kind of tricky. You have to sort of both trust your instincts and heed other people's responses and understand what might cause someone to give you a not so honest response, reaction, opinion. Okay? It takes balls to tell someone their idea is awful. It takes, or not even awful, but just not great. It takes a lot of courage in some cases to tell your partner, your efforts in this relationship aren't cutting the mustard. We need to do something different. You thinking, and I keep hammering on this paint thing only because, that's what's going on the Eight of Pentacles. You could be thinking of other ways to get back to a good spot with your partner. So you could say, let's travel more. And your partner's like, okay. And they go, and you think you're having a good time. You take photos for Instagram, for Snapchat, whatever you're doing. You post things online. People are giving you likes and commenting and saying, you guys look so cute. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I wish I was there. Bah, 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 bah. And you are thinking everything's a-okay. But sometimes partners unintentionally smile for the camera, go out, have a good time at dinner, you know, whatever you're doing, sightseeing, whatever the hell you're doing. And they play along, but truly it's not cutting the mustard for them. And they're not going to tell you that. They don't want to hurt you. They don't want to make it like, you know, you planned this trip, you planned our night out. I love that effort and I had a good time, but it's not what I wanted. And they might not be able to articulate exactly what is missing or what's not correct. And so you just ignore your instinct. You ignore, or you don't even realize your intuition is telling you, hey, don't plan that paint night thing. You guys need to go out and do something sexy, or vice versa. Maybe your partner's like, it's too much sex. Can't we just go and do something normal, like normal human beings? And your instinct is telling you, we should do a paint night with the wine thing. She loves that. He loves that. Whatever. You see? High Priestess is here to remind you. Listen. It's a tiny, tiny voice. So, the Mrs. Butterworth thing. From the commercials that I remember, she had like that sweet little grandma voice. And she would come out and she would tell you, my pancakes and my syrup and blah, 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 blah. Like in a crowded room, Mrs. Butterworth would be drowned out. You would not be able to hear her. She talked like a mouse. I talk with a sweet little voice, and you can only hear me if you are really paying attention. And if you don't listen to me, you won't hear me tell you, Aries, that you're making a bad move. Can you hear me? I said you're making a bad move. If you're not keyed into that voice, if you're out living your life and you don't listen to that little voice, that little mommy, little grandmommy, do voice, you're not gonna hear it. So you need to listen to the little sweet buttery voice in your head that says, no, Aries, we should totally go to that sex party tonight. You know, I don't know why Mrs. Butterworth became British, but she did. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the High Priestess. You got to get in touch with her. God, we've been going on for a while now. Let's get into the triplet. So the triplet is usually a separate storyline, but it kind of underpins, or it gives a little bit of backstory or a little bit of a understanding about the four cards. Let's see what's going on here. That's usual. It might not be that way this time. Let's find out, though. Okay. I think... Okay, thank you. All right, Aries. So what's going on in these four cards involves your stability. Four Pentacles. Involves your foundations. Involves things kind of being status quo and things kind of going to plan, or being, like I said, protected or stable. This image, you can see this woman is very cautious. She's protecting her body, which is a china cabinet, but whatever. And she's got her hand, like the pentacles are already like within that cabinet with the cabinet door closed, but she's also got her hands in front of it. It's like this super protective or super possessive, thank you for some of you, super possessive, thank you, energy. So you're either overly protective or you're overly possessive of something. You're being really guarded about something. So, and again, it's involving your stability, it's involving your foundations, it's involving something that you have grown accustomed to, and you are used to having it or this person or the situation being a certain way, being a constant in your life. And I mean, look at her face. She's like, don't nobody come over here. No, stay back 5 feet away from the china cabinet, please. Do not come near. It's like this. Nobody mess this up. Nobody disturb this situation I've got going on over here. My china cabinet body is not it's not a plaything, you know. Everybody stay away. Stay back. I got this. I got control of this. So there's this stubbornness you might be exuding, or the stubbornness that you might be clinging to or utilizing that isn't necessarily helpful for you. It's not necessarily helpful for you to do that. Or this is your interest. What I mean, this is your interest. This is what you want. You don't want anything to disturb your foundation, your stability. You don't want anything to come along and take those Four Pentacles plates out of the chest and serve them out on the table and put food on them. No, those are not dinner plates. Those are decorative plates. We don't eat off of those. Okay, Bob? Like, you want things to stay the way that they are. You don't want to lose things. You just leave it alone. I've decided this is how I'm going to do it. This is how it should be. Let's go with that. And there's this protective, possessive energy in that Four of Pentacles because it deals with your foundation. It deals with your structures. It deals with your stability. It deals with what you have already established for yourself as a good thing, something that you have worked for, that brings you joy, that brings you happiness, that provides for you. And it's just, you're not interested in rewriting much of the script, okay? Now. Yep, okay. Easy. Nice and easy. Thank you. They're telling me it's easy. Okay, fine, it's easy. You've got the Knight of Cups next to the Page of Pentacles, right beneath that Four of Pentacles. So, okay. Yay. Yes, got it. They were right. It is easy. So this is basically, I think, not emphasizing, but kind of giving you a different way of thinking about what's going on in these four cards on the outside. You know you have to do things. You can't sit there forever with your hands in front of your china cabinet chest and not do anything. If you want to maintain that, you have to do something. And your method of doing it is this Knight of Cups thing. So the Knight of Cups is a charmer, a little Don Juan in romantic situations. But he's a charming young lad, right? Or a charming young woman if you want to, assign it to yourself or whoever. But gender is irrelevant. The point is charm, charisma, enthusiasm, being optimistic, being very dreamy or a little soft, a little open. Not open. No. Open? No, not open, but like, okay, got it. You would be doing things and people see them and you're trying to charm them, but they already know what you're doing, why you're doing it. They already know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what you're going to say, what you're going to wear. Like, predictable. And the open aspect is like you're giving this of yourself. Like normally, like with this Four of Pentacles, it's not a super giving energy. It's very held back. Ironically or interestingly enough, your way of wanting to continue to be this way is to be more open. That sounds weird, right? How can I remain like this, Jay, if you're saying I have to be open and out there? What I'm saying is, people know, or someone knows, or the situation at hand will show that you want this thing to remain the way it is. And so to protect it, you kind of become more, what's that word? Extroverted. Not necessarily extroverted, but you become more, okay. At the workplace, right? Let's say as a creative director or whatever you're doing there, you've been sort of steady on your own, kind of staying to yourself. And now because you want to do well at that job, you want to hold on to that job, that position, or you're kind of coveting this gain of more accolades or landing a certain partnership in business, with other organizations, whatever. Okay, so in order to do that, to maintain my position and to maintain my image as being a successful creative director, I have to now go out and schmooze. That's it. Not open as in sincere pouring out your heart, but schmoozing. Saying what other people want to hear. Pouring glasses of champagne at the party, going around. You need a drink? You need a drink? You guys okay? Da da da. Like doing that, which honestly isn't always, but can come off as insincere. And some people might be viewing you that way, Aries, as insincere. Knight of Cups, he can be viewed that way. Like I said earlier, a Don Juan in a romantic situation, which is a great lover for the night, but don't ask him to be your boyfriend steady. No way. He's not going to do that. So there's this feeling, Aries, that what you're doing is fine for now. It gets the job done for now, schmoozing at a party, going out to business dinners, laughing at somebody's crappy joke because you want them to, come and join your business or, agree to whatever contract. Oh yeah, I love jokes about nuns and priests and Jews. That's hilarious. And you're like, oh my God, dude, it's like 2018. Where do you come from? Like on the inside. But on the outside, you're just like, oh man, you're so funny. People either know that or that's what you're doing. You're just kissing butt and you're trying to say and do anything to please the other person or please all those people involved so that you can get your long-term goal or maintain something. Okay. If it's the relationship thing, let's go out, honey. Let's go out to this special dinner, and you call the restaurant ahead. You got reservations. You have a nice little table for two over in an isolated area. You ask for the best bottle of wine. You're doing all that good stuff, and your partner's just like, they're trying to save this relationship. Aries is working so hard. Like this is a telegraph play. It's a textbook way of getting people on side, of getting people to agree with what you want, to agree to your ideas, to agree to be in relationships with you, business, or romantic or otherwise. And it's just, we know. It's textbook. Everybody can see it. Everybody knows what that is. Next to it, you've got the Page of Pentacles. Well. This is exactly what I was just saying. Page of Pentacles. It's immature in a way. Or not immature, I'm sorry. Or not immature in the way of nanny boob. It's not like that kind of immature, snot-nosed. It's immature as in it's underdeveloped. It's so basic. It is so basic, Aries, that when it's time to save a marriage, we have a nice dinner out. I buy champagne or a nice bottle of wine for us, and we sit there, and you got dressed up, I got dressed up, we're out here. Like, this is standard gameplay to save a marriage. Go to a nice dinner, talk about your feelings, maybe have sex or make love to reignite that flame, and then go right back into the slump. Like, the paint by numbers, paint by wine class. I want, your partner is like, I need spontaneity. I need newness. I want different. Blah, 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 blah. That might be how they're coming off to you, kind of nagging or kind of demanding, right? And so you're like, okay, let's do it. And it's standard, expected, run-of-the-mill stuff. Immature. It's not coming from a place that's more enlightened, that's wiser. It's coming from this very instinctual, okay, you wanted this, let's go do that. And sometimes that works. Your partner says, this is what I need, and you do it, and it works, and everything goes back to normal. Some of you might be dealing with partners who say, I need this, you give them that, and it's like, it's not enough, or it's not the way I wanted, or you're just doing it because I told you. You didn't come up with this idea on your own. I had to tell you this is what I wanted. And they view that as immature. You're not there you go. You're not emotionally mature enough to know that when I said this, I meant that. Some of you are dealing with people like that. When I said I wanted spontaneity, I didn't mean this. And you're like, but you said that. And you're like, I did what you told me to do. And they're like, exactly. You always do what I tell you to do. Ugh. And they judge you by that. So for some of you, that's a different message, or a slightly layered message there. But the Page of Pentacles, I'm feeling, is like this energy that says your efforts, they will get a certain result. It's not going to get necessarily the result that you want. And it might be more trouble than it's worth. Like this guy on this card, this kid, he's a little bit of a troublemaker. He's pulling down those dishes. He's really, the thing that you were coveting, those dinner plates, or those decorative plates, he might make cause for you to use them. He's breaking all of the dinnerware. He's pulling it and yanking it down from the other shelf. So there's this slightly feeling of destruction, or, you know, just it didn't go the way you wanted. Okay? Oh, we've been here for a long time. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, okay? Outcome. Funny. Outcome for December. Ace of Pentacles. Brand new. Shiny new pentacles, new pentacle dishes, right? A lot of pentacles here, so this could be heavily a financial thing, or an issue at work. It might not be anything to do with romance. For some of you, I feel like less of you, it's romance. Less of you, it's like some type of intimate marriage or long-term commitment or dating situation. I feel that mostly this is going to be like work, or some type of creative aspect of your work, something about newness at work. But regardless, your outcome in any situation is the Ace of Pentacles. So there is this aspect of new opportunity. Some of you might gain that clarity. You might figure some things out that you didn't know before. And usually the Ace of Pentacles, all of the aces are viewed as offers, viewed as opportunity, viewed as new options that you haven't encountered before. So some of you might have that. You might have renewed interest in something, or a renewed perspective, or a totally revamped perspective in something, and then that gives you the new opportunity. And it is Pentacles, so it is talking about something practical. So it could be some of you have a new revamped view of your finances. Maybe this reading or other readings or other things happen in your life, and you're like, okay, the movie's 3 times a month, that's where I gotta cut back. You come into this reading kind of not wanting to acknowledge that, not wanting to really see that that is where you could save a lot of money. And now you've seen this reading, or something else has happened in your life, and you're like, oh, okay, the three times a month at the movies, I gotta cut that out. And what 3 movies in any given month are worth seeing? Like, I question that just as a person. What movies? When and where? Anyway, so there might be just this new understanding that you gain because of something that happens here that makes you go, oh, okay, I get it now. Oh, okay, I got it, guys, I got it. So it could be this whole misstep in business, getting through a certain partnership, or, you know, tagging your name or your organization along to another organization, and you'll learn, oh, that organization also supports this cause, and we don't support that cause on our end. Ah, I get it now. And then you're able to perhaps dissolve that relationship and start a new one. In business, I'm talking about, in business. So one organization A, they sounded good on paper, but then after further research, or you get some back channel information that says, oh, organization B, they support this cause, and we are not on board with that here at my place. So you get in contact with organization A upon further research, or blah, 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 blah. We're just not going to be able to continue to work with you guys. And then you come across organization B, and organization B says, oh, we do this and that, and we don't support that. And you're like, okay, cool. You guys are who we need to work with. So there is like this rerouting. There's this reevaluation, which gives you this new opportunity to start a relationship with this other organization, this other business that you may have overlooked previously. And there is this, with the glove there, the dish glove right there is this feeling of being careful, being pristine in this evaluation, or pristine with this offer. Cleanliness, newness is there. So given all your misgivings here in your main spread, this could be talking about, even though this reading is for December, this could be talking about energy that you've experienced previous in the year 2018, or even previous in the year 2017. Pentacles do have far-reaching, has a far-reaching scope, as Pentacles are the slowest element. So we could be talking years ago, or issues from years ago, or relationships from years ago. But I feel, if anything, it would be within the year of 2018. So this could be back several months that you're dealing with decisions you made back then, you know, and this outcome could be going forward into 2019, or even towards the end of December. What am I saying? This reading is for December. Basically, it doesn't have to be within the month of December. Everything goes from December 1st to the end of the month. No, that's not what that means. Readings can go on either side, before or after it. You know what I mean? So what I'm feeling is, despite everything that's happening here, you do have a chance. You do have a chance. Just a chance. Aces, or Pentacles, yeah, aces are not guarantees, by the way. Because I think I said that. The word opportunities, right? Chance, opportunity. It could be. You have to make the right moves. You have to make the right decisions. Sometimes other aspects need to be in the right place, right time, kind of thing. So there's a chance. Watching this video, watching other videos, talking to people, doing whatever you need to do might enlighten you to something different, something better, something more fortunate or fortuitous. Okay? Overall energy for the month. Page of Swords. These pages, little rascals, right? Similar, not energy, but similar depiction of the Page of Pentacles. This is a little bit of a rascal, right? He's carrying around, he's running with scissors. That's a big no-no for kids, right? Don't run with scissors. You could poke your eye out and, you know, or worse. He's also got his hand on the wall there, and he's leaving like little handprints on the wall. So there's this idea of, oh, exactly, because it is your overall energy. There we go. The overall energy for the reading, not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily coincide with your outcome, but for the reading, which we've spent the last however long talking about, is that perhaps moving too quickly, perhaps running with something, running with a bad idea, running with something or someone, and carrying it and running with it, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't run with scissors. You could hurt yourself. You shouldn't run with that organization. You shouldn't run with this business idea of starting an Etsy shop and expecting millions. Like, no, you're going to get hurt if you do that. So if you continue along and work in partnership with that other business, it's not going to be beneficial for you. Slow down, pull back, put it down. Don't do that. This whole, I'm going to start a business and it's all based on novelty items. Okay, but take your goal down a notch. Okay, don't expect to make 6 figures by the end of the year. You should hopefully be going to have like a couple thousand maybe in a month, if that. You know, I don't know anything about Etsy, but I'm going to assume it's saturated with people or businesses, and it's really hard to find a base because it's already kicking out so many novelty shops and novelty items. It's really hard to like find a footing. So there's this idea of slow your roll as your overall energy. Slow your roll, Aries. That might be the title of your video. Slow your roll. The page, all pages are pretty enthusiastic. They're pretty excitable, like children would be. They would be really taken with their own ideas, taken with their own intentions, and running forward with it. And it's like, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay? I know you want this, and maybe you can get that, but you gotta go about it differently. You gotta slow down. You gotta stop running with scissors, for God's sakes. Okay? All right, Aries, that is your reading for December 2018. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like button. It's right down below. You can't miss it. If you want to comment about how this has played out in your life, I would love to read about it. You guys maybe have seen a few comments on some of the videos, and I usually respond with a nice little like or a little heart, or sometimes I type a message out. But I love to hear the feedback of how this applies to your life. It really helps me. It gives me clarification on what I'm doing is to some degree a success, okay? You can also subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and of course share the video if you think there are other people who could benefit from hearing the message. And I will be back. See you next year. Oh God, I hate that joke, but I think you guys can appreciate a little tongue-in-cheek humor. But I will be back next year when I come back in a month and do your readings for January 2019. Until then, Aries, I thank you so much for watching this video. Take care.